Okay, let's talk about the video slider layout. So if you watched the previous video going over the new video widget, which I hope you have, this should look familiar. This is the video that we've created on the default layout. So now I'm going to go ahead and change this layout to slider, and we get some all new settings. I'm also going to remove default full display. I'll make this, I'll keep that at, let's do 900 actually, and we'll reduce this to 500 just to kind of keep it looking nice. We'll keep these on, that's fine. We also have another tab here called slider. So captions stays the same. We don't have the individual title and text though. Those are moved to the videos tab. But we have this new one called slider. So slider is basically everything to deal with the actual slider itself. So we have one called show video selection, and that will give us an additional slider um, based off this location, and that'll basically just allow us to kind of skip around in the slider. So if I have four videos and I want to go from the first one to the fourth one, I can just click the fourth one in this video selection, and that'll allow me to skip to that fourth one. You'll see it whenever we save. We also have slider controls. So this one, these settings here are not to be confused with the actual video controls here. So these controls in this basic settings deal with the actual videos, and these ones here deal with the sliders. So slider controls are things like the next button, the previous button, the pause slider, the play slider. There's also auto slide, which just means that when a video has completed, do we want to move on to the next video in the slider? And lastly, there's loop slider. So when we have completed the last slide, do we want to go back to the beginning slide and play from there? Lastly is the slide speed. This is just when a slide occurs, how fast does it take, or sorry, how long does it take before we reach the next slide? So this is not a delay. This is when it slides to the next slide in 0.5 seconds or 1 second. I think this is at 1.5. Okay, so I'm going to turn off video selection for now, and I'm going to head over to videos and configure our videos. So we have video 1 by default, and we can't delete this because we always have to have 1 in this selection here. So I'm going to give this a click, and now I can configure these options here. So I have a URL, and I'm going to choose that production. And we also have the generate poster. This is my favorite setting in this whole update because we draw a canvas, we paint to it, and then we generate an image from that. And then I will carry over the same um, caption settings, stock video in Cyberschool. Okay, we're not going to worry about this position setting yet. I will talk about that later. But that seems good to me. So I will add another one. And I will bring in another video. And I want to bring in a particular kind of video now. I'm going to bring in this video, which is the MOV format, MOV. So MOV format is the Apple standard if you were to create a video on your iPhone, for example, upload it to your computer, it would come into the computer as the MOV format. So there's nothing wrong with these videos, but we have run into the snag where MOV files don't display in some browsers. I think Chrome is one of them, and this little tidbit shows you or explains everything I'm talking about. So when we drag in a MOV video, it gets automatically converted to MP4. So we get one file, that's the MOV file. There we go. And there's the proof in the pudding. And I can also go to browse server and show you. We have the file example MOV MP4, and this is the same one just as the MOV format. So you get both files. We just create a copy and convert it to MP4, and then that's the one that's used in the video. I could still select MOV here, but it won't be visible in the slider. Okay, I'm gonna click done, and I'll generate another poster. There we go. Perfect. and I'll call this one spinning earth. Oops, Urch. And I'll say stock video, and actually I won't include a description. That's okay, I don't always have to include one. So I'm going to save this to see what this looks like. Okay, that's not bad. So a couple things to go over. When I hover inside of the when I hover inside of the video widget, the caption disappears. That's so I can actually see the video itself. There's also things like the next, and you saw when this video completed, it's only 10 seconds long, but when it completed, it automatically slid to the next video. So about another second or so, done, and it slides to the next one, and this one starts playing. Okay, cool. Everything's working out just fine. Um, oh, something else I want to discuss. There are interaction uh, events. So if I were to start my, um, yeah, so the video is set to autoplay, right? Yes, okay. So if I were to start my browser from down here, down in the footer, which means my browser starts up and I am not in view of the video widget. Let's see. I don't think I made it. It's a very tough thing to get to work, but I think I can. Okay, waiting for it to finish. Okay, yes. So, did you see it? It's kind of tough to see because, it's not something we really look for. But the video itself did not start playing until I scrolled the video into view. And you saw that again. So when I scroll away, actually, this is at 4 seconds. So when I scroll away, the video pauses. And when I scroll back, it plays from where it left off. So another handy little thing going on is that we don't want videos playing automatically if they're, all the way down at the bottom of the page and we're, suddenly the video starts playing and then users get to it and it's already over or something like that. So videos don't start playing until we actually scroll them into view. Another little handy feature. So I'm going to show, actually, videos are really nice in the content row. So I will add a video widget into the content row. And yeah, I'll use one of the videos that I already have. I'll create a poster and I'll set this to max display. Perfect. And then I'll set this to loop and allow full screen. So I will save. Okay, so max display we're familiar with. In a content row, this takes up the full screen, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but the really cool feature is when we set this to full display. There we go. So full display, we'll go over full display in the slider. Max display is the same thing, it's just a slider, but it's completely covering the widget. But the full display is actually really cool because we can go over to videos now. And actually I need to save first. There we go. So we can go over to videos and now we have the position option. So this will let you choose where the video, like what is shown inside of the widget. So it's set to 50-50 for all videos, which means we're getting the middle part of the video. If I were to take this and increase this a little bit, there we go. So I can basically get all the children's heads in there. Um, yeah, that's good. So it's going to basically scale or translate, move the video down so that we can see what's in this highlighted area here. And then this area should change with I'm going to save that, should change with the height as well. So if I were to increase the height a bit, let's say 750 and save. Okay, now let's take a look at that one. There we go. So I see the lines are there, but I don't see this growing anymore. But that's fine. Let's actually reduce that. So let's say 250 and save. So very small video, and open up the, okay, there we go. We see the black lines there. And I will move this, oh, now it updated. I'll move it so I can see the people in the back. So we can click and drag that, or we can click and it'll move the dot there. Um, okay, and then I'll configure the position for this one, and I'll do the upper part of the earth there. So one thing to notice with that is that this is not a good view, but one thing to notice with the position is that we're going to be seeing the full, there we go, we're going to be seeing the full width. And so because of that, the Y position doesn't really matter that much. Is it the Y or is it the X? The X position, sorry. The X position doesn't really matter too much because it's full anyways. And so what really matters is this Y position. So I'm going to just do 25 and I'll set that there. Hit save. And there we go. It's moved the video in the background so I could see the children in the background. And then the top of the globe as well. Okay. So yes, I believe that is everything with the slider. This button here is to pause the slider. Um, it's just appearing in front of the form there. So that is there because we have the auto slide toggled. This pauses the auto slide. Um, oh, right, I forgot the video selection. So I will increase the video height. And now video selection's toggled. And there we go. We have a secondary kind of slide going on. And I can select video 2 or video 1. And it just takes me to that video. So we're able to change this so it appears on the top or the right or the left. There we go. And the poster that we use is set here. So if I wanted to change that globe one, for example, I'll use the IES logo. And I'll also change this to the right. Okay, there we go. And then the text that's there, this video 2, that's the title of the video. This title here. So this serves as a title. It's also a label. And I believe we can actually toggle the titles as well. Does it show title? No. Unless I remove the setting. But that's fine. That's more like a label anyways. Okay, I like this place at the bottom. And then the more videos that we add, I'll add another video and I'll add in a IES Cyberschool video. Okay, and I will also generate the poster for this one. There's already one that exists, but I don't remember the URL for that. So we could just generate it and it'll overwrite it for us. And then we'll do one more. And I'll do another IES Cyberschool. Okay, but this time I want to use a different one. Okay, so the more videos we have, the more videos are placed into here, and I can click these and skip to those videos as well. Oh, right, I need to refresh. So that's one thing I should make note of is that whenever we use the video slider, when we use a YouTube video, it you need to refresh after saving because we have to utilize YouTube's embed API. So every time that we save the settings, we need to refresh to reload the API ready function. So I'm going to skip to video 4, and it takes time to load up the video, unless I'm crazy. Oh, yes, there we go. Video 4. Okay. Yeah, seems like an edge case, but eventually we get there. But yes, this video selection is very handy tool to have. But if you don't want that option, we can just turn that off. Um, there we go. So I believe that is everything, aside from the slide effect, which we talked about in the first video. But if you want to change, how it moves from one video to another, we could just change that slide effect there. And yeah, I believe that's everything. So stay tuned for further updates. There's plenty more that we can do with the video slider.